What's up, brand builders? Stephen Horahan here at BrandMasterAcademy.com, and in this video you're going to discover 7 of the best brand voice examples with tones from unique brands. So you can see how creative brands masterfully communicate with human tones that bring them to life. Now, if you're new to the channel and you want to build brands that go beyond the visuals using strategy, psychology, and creative thinking, then you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. If you want to fast track your results, make sure you grab the Pro Brand Strategy Blueprint. It's a free download and the link is in the description. Now, I created a video recently called What is a Brand Voice and how to create one. If you haven't seen that yet, I'll leave a link in the description below. You should check that out. But in a nutshell, a brand voice is a way for your brand to speak to your audience, and it's shaped by your brand's communication style and its personality. Now, your brand voice, also known as your brand's tone of voice, is crafted based on who your target audience is, and it's designed to make your brand feel more familiar. And when it's coupled with your brand's unique message, the brand voice brings a sense of tangibility and humanity to what can otherwise feel like corporate messaging. So what's the difference between brand voice and brand personality? Well, although brand voice is often used interchangeably with the term brand personality, there is a difference between the two. The brand tone of voice is a tool used to communicate a brand's personality, while the brand personality might include attributes such as visual, verbal, and physical attributes of the brand. The voice is a little bit more specified to the unique mood and the tone of the brand's language and messaging. So in essence, your brand personality and your brand voice are used together to create a brand that feels really human. So enough of all that background, let's get into some juicy brand examples so you can see exactly how a brand's tone of voice is expressed and how that enhances the effectiveness of the messaging. But before we do, if you have any questions, make sure you drop them in the comments box below. And if you like this video, of course, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe, and the notification bell will let you know when I release new videos just like this. Example number 1 is Omsom. Now, if you haven't yet heard of Omsom, it's a brand founded by 2 Vietnamese sisters, Vanessa and Kim, with an absolute red-hot passion for bold Asian spices and flavors. Now, the brand offers Asian spice packs to spice up dinner time because, as it says on their website, real deal Asian cuisine and communities are too damn delicious to deny. Now, in case the name wasn't memorable enough for you, Omsom, the URL is omsom.com. It's not exactly a name that you're going to have to write down or a URL that you're going to have to write down. Now, growing up in the US as daughters of Vietnamese refugees, their passion was formed in the family's kitchen, watching their mum create Vietnamese dishes from scratch every single night. To say that this brand has a very distinct personality and tone of voice would be a massive understatement. Everything about this brand is bold, loud, proud, and fiery. Now, look, if you're a designer, you might absolutely hate this website, but try to look past the design for a second and look towards the message, the personality, and the overall attributes that they're trying to convey here. From their luminous orange and yellow RGB color palette on their website and their big and bold type, you're left in absolutely no doubt from the very first glance what they're all about. To complement their bold visuals and lively attitude, they really drive home the personality of their brand in how they use their tone of voice right throughout their messaging to set the mood. On their Meet Us page on the website, they explain the origin of the brand name. Omsom is a Vietnamese phrase meaning noisy, rambunctious, or riotous, most often used by parents, hint ours, to scold unruly, raucous children in the back of the car. Now, after being exposed to this brand for a couple of minutes, you don't just want to buy the starter pack of spices that they offer, you want to hit the town with them. And this to me is the absolute essence of branding. When a brand hits the right notes, you feel like they know you and like you know them. Example number 2, Chubbies shorts. Now, Chubbies shorts are a brand founded by 4 mates who loved short shorts. Throughout college, they used to scour through thrift stores and their dad's closets trying to find pairs that they could boast about. And then realizing that they couldn't be the only ones with the same passion, they decided to build a business around it, and Chubbies shorts brand was born. Now, the brand's overall personality and tone of voice has been shaped by the brand's mission statement: to treat our customers the way we treat our friends, to exchange in the same way. And that's exactly how the brand is expressed across all channels, from their messaging to their tone of voice that they lead with. And it really does feel like a brand run by four friends just mucking about. And that's exactly how they want it to feel as well. Their tone of voice is friendly, funny, and absolutely informal. And they're as casual a brand as you'll find anywhere. Recently, they dropped a 30% off discount with the caption, up to 30% off. Why? Because none of us went to business school. So if you're looking for a brand for an audience that appreciates an informal tone, and you're looking to kind of learn from a brand like this, or you believe that your brand might have an audience like this, then Chubby Shorts are a brand that you can learn a lot from. Example number 3 is Chipotle. Now, Chipotle is a Mexican fast food restaurant with a difference. Now, I've referenced this brand a few times throughout this channel, and one of the main reasons that I do that is because of how they use their tone of voice. Yes, they've carved out a unique position by disrupting the low-quality, low-price Mexican fast food market with freshly sourced produce, but it's not just their position that sets them apart. Chipotle has attitude. Chipotle has bags of attitude. Their tone of voice uses cheeky, tongue-in-cheek humor to point the finger at cheaper, unhealthier options like this one. We could buy ready-made guacamole, but we're too busy mashing avocados. Or this one, we could use microwaves for our barbacoa, but they don't have a slow braise button. Example number 4 is Sprouts Farmers Markets. Now, this brand is an organic grocer that believes in the delight of fresh and healthy foods and good for you supplements. Essentially, they represent everything that you love about a farmer's market in a grocery store. Their website illustrations and their handwritten fonts across their headlines really speak to this untouched and rustic, simple life that their love for natural food really sings to. Their Instagram page is a mouth-watering wall of goodness, and their tone of voice is just as comforting. They celebrate food with comforting words such as goodness, hearty, crunchy, with a warm tone that you really expect to find at a farmer's market stall. Example number 5 is Shiseido. Now, Shiseido is a Japanese cosmetics brand with real heritage. The brand was founded as Japan's first Western-style pharmacy in 1872, and to round that up, it makes it around about 150 years old. Since 1897, when Shiseido first stepped into the world of cosmetics, they've been on the cutting edge of the industry. They celebrate Japanese beauty and the timelessness tradition of skincare routine, which is powered by cutting-edge science. And this contrast of cutting-edge science and tradition gives the brand a unique personality and voice that gently whispers wisdom and elegance. Their tone of voice is a mix between a wise Japanese grandmother passing on hundreds of years of tradition and experience, and a Japanese scientist affirming her wisdom. They educate their customers on age-old techniques handed down through generations, and then they arm them with groundbreaking, science-backed serums and infusions to achieve youthful luminance. This is a brand that infuses the old and the new, and it oozes beauty and confidence as they do it. Example number 6 is Diesel. Now, following on from Shiseido, you get to see a real contrast here in brand voices and tones. While Shiseido is about tradition, elegance, and clean beauty, Diesel is a brand that will be inclined to give all of that the middle finger. And not because Diesel has no tradition or doesn't appreciate beauty, but because, unlike the persona of the Shiseido brand, it doesn't give a shit about what other people think. Diesel are an Italian brand, but they've resisted the urge to follow trends or to try to set them like so many other Italian fashion brands. Diesel is a rebel brand. They don't promote following trends. Instead, they celebrate doing whatever you want and going against the grain of society and the confines that come with it. Their tone of voice is bold and daring, encouraging their followers to disrupt, to deviate, to wing it, to bring attitude, and to be different. If you were thinking of doing something that you shouldn't, Diesel will probably be there whispering in your ear, do it. And example number 7 is Tiffany Co. Now, Tiffany Co is another brand with some serious heritage behind it. Every story has a beginning, and Tiffany's began in 1837. They grew quickly into a global design house at the forefront of innovative jewelry design and expert craftsmanship. Tiffany's is the undisputed king of diamonds, and 99.9% of the world's diamonds simply don't make the cut for Tiffany's. Now, although the brand had already achieved iconic status by 1961, Audrey Hepburn helped to forge the brand name into culture with the Hollywood classic Breakfast at Tiffany's. Now, if you want to learn more about the Tiffany's brand and their heritage, they have a timeline on their website of historical events. I recommend you check that out. but they have been instrumental in aligning diamonds with love and the celebration of engagement, and their brand language and tone of voice is nothing if not exclusively wonderful, dazzling, and magic. Now, of course, some of these examples are from big brands, but some were small brands that started like any other startup. When it comes to building a brand, there are some things that are simply out of reach for most brands, like buying ads during the Super Bowl. But on the other end of the spectrum, some of the most impactful aspects of strategy comes down to the creativity and the nuances. It doesn't matter whether you're a well-funded and established brand or a plucky bootstrap startup, developing the style of communication that feels familiar and speak to who your audience is can be the defining difference between success and failure. Now, of course, your tone of voice is the mood that you set, but what you say is equally, if not more important. If you want to learn 8 brand communication strategy tips and techniques, then this video will help you out. Until next time, brand like a master, and I'll see you in the next video.